Hello.
Hello, everybody. How
How's
are you today?
everybody? How's everybody out there? How are you, Robin? How are you in internet lands?
I'm all right. I'm not too bad. I'm wondering where all the time goes. I'm just gonna fiddle with my
Yeah,
camera again
he's
because
doing it. He's doing it again. He's doing that
why
before
not?
we started, I know.
Doing what? Fiddling with the camera?
Fiddling with
Yeah,
your
I know.
camera.
Sorry.
We seem to
There you
have
go. That's better.
much more of a delay than usual on our talking and our streaming. So if you post something, we probably will respond to it. It might just take us a few more seconds or
Tim's
something.
good. Edelhar's good. MacLeod just took it to some bambinos. I'm not sure who that is.
So no, they are.
Um,
Hola, señorita. Is that racist? That might be
James
racist.
Milner is good. Not James Milner, the former Liverpool left wing.
It might be. I mean,
It
you
could
didn't
be,
know. You
but
don't
it's
know.
Milner. It's Milner rather than Milner.
Or maybe hit, like submit on the name before when he was a bit excited, didn't get all the letters and just whack the kit. I mean, footballers aren't known for their spelling, right?
No, true.
You never know. I mean, I'm going to take the piss out of footballers because they earn a huge amount more money than me, so I'm just bitter.
No beef. He's painting some Necrons and drinking a brew.
Excellent. Good job there. I was doing a little bit of painting before we came online, just painting a bit more with Skavens.
I was doing a bit of Sainsbury's shopping before I came online because Wednesday is my shopping delivery day.
Fun.
So there you go. That's very exciting.
James Milne is, of course, syntax error. So who have we got online tonight?
It's
We've got...
very hard to keep up.
Oh, it does my head in, and I apologise to everybody on Patreon, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Discord, wherever, anywhere where it's digital communication. Unless you have exactly the same name on all of them, I'm gonna forget who's who.
Yeah, because we have in our patrons, we have the winner of the Canadian Grand Clash,
Yeah,
who I assume somewhere in the Patreon thing, it must have his name there when he signed up, possibly. But I had absolutely no idea. He's called something else entirely on our Discord, and I had no idea that was he.
it's
So it was only when
something
we were
Matt, isn't
talking
it?
about it, and he said he went, "Oh yeah, it was me. I
Yeah.
won."
What? I mean, we have multitudes of glass winners supporting us, which is fantastic. But if they could give us a few, tips, that'd be really helpful.
Yeah, yeah, we're sponsored by a much more talented bunch of people
We are. It makes me wonder what
in many
we're
fields, in many hobby fields, really.
makes me wonder what we're here for. Really, is it just the entertainment? I mean, I'm okay with that. You've got to have your Morecambe and Wise and all the rest of it. And if that's our role in life, I'm okay.
Yeah, John Grant says that's not me. Yeah, but you're on the painting front, you see.
Yes.
So yeah, we're multi-talented Patreon supporters and indeed fans all over the world, which is very lovely.
Into the Glory Holes tip is to play Curse Breakers. We did very recently, in fact. That first game went out on over the weekend to our Patreon supporters. They'll be coming up on
Oh yes,
YouTube this Friday.
Curse Breakers versus the Guardians. We
It
both
was.
thought, oh, let's play some Magic. We had a Magic extravaganza.
We
I think
did.
there's about two Magic cards in there.
Yeah, I wonder how good Magic is. Well, it turns out shit if you don't take any. Although I
Well,
think
yeah, 'cause Beastgrave is not good for Magic. And segueing neatly into what we're talking about tonight, it doesn't look like Direchasm is going to massively up the
magicalness.
ante on the Magic front.
It's not
It's
going
not
to up.
anti-Magic.
It's not going
But
to up your magical antes.
it's not. It's not. There's not. Like I did look it up, and I've now forgotten how many Gambit cards there are. It's something like four. Is it four new spells or something? It's not very much.
Well, we've got one of the card. We've got one of the images. We can talk about that in a minute. But yes, doesn't look like lots. Jonathan Grant says that he had a shocker on Warhammer Worlds Online today. Tell us what that was, John. I played a game with the axes before we came online.
Did you?
I jumped on. I thought, sod it, I'm going to have a go at them. Bought them, set up a quick deck. Might use them in our Patreon tournament. And it was alright. I mean, I came up against another Axis player and my UI went a bit weird and I ended up moving on my first turn rather than charging, which was
Your new eye.
very annoying. My UI.
Oh,
my
sorry.
user
My
interface.
new eye.
My UI. Yeah,
Cybernetic implants.
it went
Found your
weird.
roles online wherever you are.
Yeah, it went weird and then I ended up moving instead of charging. I was like, oh, for God's sakes.
That's dedication. You think if you were going to go the whole way to have your whole eye replaced, so you could play it all the time, but you think they'd send you a
Decent one.
DRC or whatever it is for the the content. But no.
But no, not at all. Had to pay for it. It's disgusting. But yeah, they were quite fun, and they've got a lot of push cards. I wonder if they'd be good in Beastgrave now. The axes, lots of push cards. They've got some decent. They've got lots of kill things immediately objectives as well. They've got a couple of those, and they've got the ones for getting in your opponent's half. I reckon they might
just
be quite good.
Completely interrupt you, Pete, because VJ is just back from dropping the wife and the little guy at the hospital for his surgery. So I do hope that goes all right, VJ.
Yes.
And welcome.
Appreciate you probably can't hang around there.
Did you actually stop? Or did you just throw them out so you could get back for the live chat?
Turns out they've got a lot more injuries during the drop-off process. Jonathan Gratz has lost every game today. The dice hate him. The card order hates him. I feel you.
Yeah. The only reason I ever win any games is because Pete has worse luck than I do.
I remember editing some games, and you'll be like, I'm going to play this ploy, and I'm going to score this objective, and then the next objective you pick up is just like the next objective you want to score, and then you'll score that one, and then you'll put an upgrade on and play another ploy which will help you score another objective that you just picked up. Like, you are such a jammy bastard.
or better at building decks, one of the two. But
potato,
that said,
tomato.
You have had games where you're, I think it was a Patreon game, where your combo on your skeleton just kept working over and over again.
That is
and
true.
all I could do was just sit and cry.
Yeah, that was definitely that was our Patreon game. That went exceedingly well for me. That one. It was still a close game. It wasn't like an absolute whitewash.
It was a good game. But yeah.
Yeah. So welcome to everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight as we chat about Direchasm, and we will be doing a giveaway later on as well.
Name has changed.
Direchasm. Or Direchasm, as we're going to call it. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Direchasm. We'll do the giveaway later.
What do we think of the reveal generally?
I mean, I
have to say,
go
on.
No.
I was just I personally I'd get a bit fed up of reveals. It's just like I find it hard to start. We're gonna buy the game when it comes out. Just tell us what's in it.
Just fucking tell us. We're all gonna know.
You haven't whetted my appetite anymore by showing me half a Slanesh nipple. I'm still gonna buy it. Just tell us what's more, so we don't have people just randomly speculating. People going on their live chat shows for an hour just making shit up. just tell us.
Well, I mean, that's our bread and butter, right? But we've always sucked horribly at the whole just making stuff up. Well, not making stuff up, but just speculating on like, oh, what's this silhouette? What could it be? It's got these arms and this weird spike coming out. What kind of thing could that be? Who gives a shit? We're going to find out in a week. Who gives a fuck, really?
I think when you get to a certain age, maybe when you've got kids, it's just like, get to the point, man.
Yeah. Have you got a picture? No, it's a silhouette. Fuck off then. I'll be back next week. And that's it. Done.
It's really frustrating. I've seen several iterations, or I say several, 2 iterations of what's in the box. It's just like, get that stuff right.
Yeah.
There was a whole post devoted to somebody who noticed that it didn't say there were any objective cards. I was like, well, clearly it's a printing mistake. So there will be objective cards, but it just to get that's quite fundamentally important. If you're going to reveal stuff, to at least reveal what's actually in the box rather than what's not, or not reveal what's in the box.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be that hard to get one of the interns to just basically open the box, go down the list, and take the things out of the box. I mean, they probably counted and got the number of tokens right, yet they fucked up in the first example that there were no objectives.
They just missed out that line.
Yeah, like, how did you fucking miss? It's like 3 of the main things: objectives, ploys, and upgrades. Come on.
One of the Slanesh guys had both Hunter and Quarry printed on. I didn't notice that.
We'll have to have a look at that in a minute.
I have to say, a lot of people are commenting in the comments that the Slanesh models look much, much better than the Lumineth, and I have to agree.
Yep.
They do.
Yeah, I think we're going to be fighting over who has to play the Cow Elves.
Yeah. Well, I think we know it's going to be me.
I'd love to. I think that probably. But, we'll share them. I think that one of the elves has a big hammer, big Timmy, I'm going to call him, with his mallet. And I don't think that mallet is 2 hex range, but I think he has a 2 hex range attack, which brings me back to my make Kirk great again. He should have range 2. And I reckon that Kirk's spear is longer than Timmy's mallet. And the fact that he has a range 2 attack annoys me. But anyway.
How much does it annoy you?
a lot.
Right.
Like for almost 30 seconds earlier, I just sort of went, it's just not fair. It's just not fair. Oh yeah, I don't care. Anyway, never mind. But I think we're going to be fighting over the Slanesh. I think we're going to have to alternate games.
It's how they want it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Just beating each other.
I've beating each other off the models.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
Slanesh one. Their work is done.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I don't think I've seen anybody really online who said that they prefer the cow elves. I've seen some people who said they're not bad models, they're all right. But and I have noticed that some people have said things like they're all quite statically posed. They're sort of like heroically posed, rather than like Garrick's Reavers. They're all like charging and stuff like, which I kind of agree with. I prefer like that more dynamic posing than just sort of standing there. Because one of the cow elves, in fact, let's bring the picture up now. Let's start by looking at some of the models.
By the power invested in technology or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap over so people can lose our faces. And here we go. Let's bring up the screen share.
Nope.
Boing. There we go. So there's the elves, right?
I quite like Harpy Archer dude.
But what is that bow? It's got 3 bloody strings on it. That just seems stupid to me.
Well, you know what they say. You should always have more than one string to your bow.
Hey.
He's taken it literally.
Is it he or she? It's not really obvious to tell on that one. I'm guessing it's a he.
Not sure.
But none of them are obvious, which I guess is a good thing. I really don't like the leader. I just think because he's doing this kind of. Oh, that's the giveaway screen. Wrong one. That's the core box. Get rid of that one. Here we go. No, that's the board. Fuck, crying out loud. Where's it gone? Right. Close the wrong window. Let's open that again.
Something's going wrong, Pete.
Let's try that one again. Right, here we go.
Right, okay.
Miari's Purifiers. So basically they're a load of who's it that do the water purifiers? I can't remember the name of the company. I want to say Dyson.
Brita.
It's not Dyson. Brita. Yeah, so they're Brita's purifiers. I don't like the leader. I
just realised he's doing a tree pose.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's bloody stupid as far as I'm concerned.
Tree pose. Well, that's all part of their zen, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. It looks stupid as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not sure. Are they really, really big and those trees are tiny? Or is the wheat really big too? I'm very confused by the scaling there. But
so, I'm not a fan of this guy. And I don't like the Hammer Dude's stupid cow hat thing. I
don't like that. What's the significance of the cow, people?
I've got no idea at all.
Okay. I don't like the owl. The owl looks awful. I would happily cut that off.
Yeah. I'd almost cut that off and just have a hand with sort of fire coming off of it or something.
Unless you can paint it like Professor Yaffle from Bagpuss.
I quite like the lady with the big sword. I mean, that sword is massive. That's almost the height of her, but that's quite cool. And I'm not really fond of the bow thing. I think it's a bit stupid. But overall, I'm not impressed with them.
Into the Glory Hole said bonsai trees because Asian influence. Are they meant to be Asian influence? Oh, I see, because they're Zen and they've got pictogram type writing. Well, not pictograms, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Craig Sargent says needs more cowbell. Love it. Love it.
It's very confusing because isn't one of the Slanesh models actually a cow?
It is almost, yes, but I guess that's the link between Slanesh and elves and stuff like that. So let's have a look at the Slanesh warband, where we can.
You see, I'm not up on the lore.
Well, Slanesh was sort of birthed by the elves, wasn't he? Or at least the Eldar.
Okay.
In 40k, but I thought it was similar in this. So let's have a look at these beauties.
Okay.
So
he's reminiscent of a Keeper of Secrets, isn't he? The one with the cow.
Yes, very.
Cow head.
I do like him. I can't remember what his name is.
That it's iconic, yet somehow original. I like that. Really like that model.
Yeah.
I think it's the thigh length leather studded boot that really does it for me, though.
Ooh, just like mine, eh? So yeah, I do like that sort of that look and all the tassels that are sort of hanging off the horns and all that kind of thing, and you know the Slaneshi claw as well, which is pretty reminiscent of Slanesh. I do like all of that look, really.
Yeah, Arabian Nights warband. Yeah, I can see that theme.
Yes, it's definitely got a bit of that. GRFR says it's a slangor. Yes, it is a slangor.
A slangor.
Slangor.
Slangor. Is that similar to a Zangor? It's like bloody, it's worse than Pokemon.
Basically, it's like a Zangor or I can't
And
remember
that
what they call the
evolves into a
Slaanesh ones.
Zangor, evolves to a Slangor.
I can't remember what the Nurgle ones are called. Pestigore, that's it.
Surely, to be keeping with Slaanesh, should be called a Slaggor.
Slaggor. Then we've got, I can't remember that her name's revealed as well, but I quite like the pose of that model, although it's a bit static. I quite like the sort of the great long hat. Bet that's range 2 and all.
I like that model.
Slagathor, yep, Slagathor as we were going to be calling him from now on.
Slagatha.
Slagathor.
There we go. She has a new name.
Yeah. And then we got. See, I just like this bow model more than the other one.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by the harp of the other one. I like the arrowheads on that one.
I wonder if the harp one's going to allow it to do more than one shot, maybe.
Like, was it Hawk the Slayer? I can't remember. There was some. Oh, is it Legolas?
Yeah.
I get confused with Legolas. Yeah.
Counts as one. So there's the archer person, which I don't mind either, and then we've got the big guy themselves. I won't say himself or herself, whatever self. It's a self of some kind, and we've got.
That's a severe piercing he's got going on there on his arm.
Yeah, I quite like the scarring they've got going on with the on the skin. If I can zoom in on that a bit.
Ooh, oh, I see. Oh, it's like symbols.
Yeah, it's got the Slaaneshy things and the sort of the scarring on the legs and stuff, which I really like. The shield itself feels a bit lackluster to me, but I guess they've gone for that sort of sheen, that sort of metallic-y sort of thing.
Yeah.
MacLeod says she heard her name being said repeatedly. Slagathor. But I mean, that all looks brilliant. I love all this detail, especially on the arms of that. I mean, I'm really looking forward to losing all of that detail with a massive thick coat of flesh tone on it. So that's the wall bands. If we then go,
Roger says he doesn't like that it's 4v4. He prefers different numbers. I have no strong feelings about it, but I sort of know what he means. I think I don't know. I think I prefer having no 3 fighter warbands though.
Yeah, I mean, I having 4v4, you get 4 activations, 4 fighters, so that gives you that kind of that approach to it. I mean, there weren't really any 4 fighter warbands in Beastgrave, so it's nice to get a 4 fighter warband back in again. I'm not sure if there were very many in Nightfall either. Thinking about it, I guess Eyes was sort of, but they had 5 fighters.
Hrothgorn wasn't, was he?
Hroth wasn't, no. I mean, I don't remember there being many 4 fighter warbands in Nightfall or in Beastgrave, so it's nice to see a couple of 4 fighter warbands, because obviously I think we had Ilthari, good point. Yeah, we got Ilthari.
Yeah, so Ilthari and Moloch, but Moloch wasn't really a 4 fighter warband.
It was a 1 fighter warband with a couple of decorations.
Yeah.
So I like seeing some 4 fighter warbands again. I don't think we've seen any in Beastgrave, and I think it's a nice dynamic, nice size. I think it's less open to abuse, I feel, than a lot of others, because generally when you have less than 4, you end up with quite powerful fighters which can be easily OP'd, and if you have more than 4 fighters, if you've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fighters, they can easily abuse the objective grabbing sort of aspect of things. So 4 or 5 seems like that almost perfect ground. Andrew was asking who put thumbs down. It's our Phantom thumbs downer.
I just noticed the thumbs down. It's the regular thumbs downer.
They follow us into Necromunda too, which is nice.
Yeah.
Always get one in there
as I
too.
keep watching and watching the adverts, I don't mind.
Yeah.
And to be honest, they ought to join Patreon, because then they could put thumbs down on even more. So if you are listening, do join Patreon and you can thumbs down all our videos.
Yeah. So here's the next one we got, which is the box content. And this is probably the correct box content, and this has the first interesting little bit of information in it. It's got the purifiers. Jonathan Grant says whoever they are is a dickhead. Well, I'm not going to say, but yes they are. So the core set, we've got the Lumineth, we've got the Hedonites, we've got some boards which we knew about, we've got the 8 fighter cards which we knew about.
Double-sided folding game boards, no way!
Oh my god! We've then got the 32 cards for each of the warbands, so it's nice to see that they're keeping that sort of full pack style, so we can play them straight out of the box and see how terrible their standalone objectives and stuff
This is another example, I think, of bad copy editing. I think 12 new universal objective cards means 6 new ones each, doesn't it?
I assume so. Yes.
Yeah. So it's not 12 new ones.
No.
It's 6 new ones twice.
And not only that, most of them aren't going to be new, are they? They're going to be supremacy, conquest, denial, all that shit that you get in all the
we
other.
don't know, do we? I mean, you're probably right. You're probably right. But yes, no. I actually hadn't thought about that. I kind of assumed they were in the. Yeah, you're right. No, they must be, mustn't they?
Yeah. So they're not even new. They're just 12 universal objective cards, 10 universal gambit cards, and 10 universal upgrade cards, which is, who cares about that? Jonathan Grant's getting into one now. They've riled John. John is not happy. You tell him, John. You fucking tell him. One primacy card. Now that's interesting. Primacy card. What is a primacy card?
I don't know. We asked that on the Discord, didn't we? But I really don't know what it's going to be. It kind of suggests it's a sort of the person who's in the lead is having, or the person who goes first is having it. Maybe it's to give to the person whose activation is first, so you just keep track. But that seems a bit crap to have a card for that. So yeah. I really don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Now I'd be interested to see what that's all about. Then we've got 11 dice tokens,
129 tokens. That's just what I needed. Another 129. Well, another 258 tokens in the garage.
129 tokens. 128 of those, which will be guard counters. The rule book.
There are some new mechanics, aren't there?
Yes.
People are still talking about the thumbs down imposter. We actually put the thumbs down imposter in there to encourage people to thumbs up.
If you like giveaways, give us a thumbs up. Now, Into the Glory Hole did some mega math up here. They said there are 500 cards, which we know about because we've seen it on one of the cards. 32 Luminous, 32 Heads Knight, and then he said 32 Universal cards. I'm not sure if there are 32 Universal... Sorry, there are 32 Universal start cards, but then he's put doubled question marks. I don't think there are 32...
So 16 unique cards, you get on to say.
Sorry, yes. So yeah. That's what I think it is. That's 80 unique cards in the starter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that leaves 420, which, as he says, is 60 per warband, is 7 additional warbands. Interesting.
But we didn't get 60 per warband, did we? We got like 59 or something stupid in the previous seasons.
Oh, there was a funny, but it was a bit funny, wasn't it?
It was a bit wonky, so I don't know if they're going to do something different this time. I mean, it doesn't really make sense for them to change the number of cards you're going to get or the number of warbands you're going to get per season, really, because they're on to season 4 now. They know that 8 warbands, 60-ish cards per pack, and a booster pack of some kind works. So
yeah, I
don't know. I don't know if they're going to change that. That's the first question mark I've got there. Why so many more cards? I mean, the gift packs previously, as has been pointed out, could take up some, but generally they don't tend to include the gift pack numbers in the actual total.
Different
numbering system.
Number on it, yeah.
A different symbol as well.
They could not do that because it is annoying.
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think we tried to guess last time and got it all completely wrong.
Yeah, I think we did. But that's the thing. This is why we're here. We're here to just make shit up and then see. Maybe.
There's got to be 8 warbands in total, surely. I suppose 9. Maybe there's going to be a 9th siege warband.
Yeah, don't think so.
That would be beautifully thematic.
It would.
But no, it seems odd that they would do 7 additional warbands. But,
yeah. So moving on from there, we've got some cards that we've seen. Everyone's seen a lot of these cards already, but let's show off what we've got for anybody who hasn't.
Yeah. There was a comment about the primacy token, which is somebody suggested a bonus card for whoever goes first. Yes, it's it's an interesting one. I don't know what that primacy is going to be. It could be a catch-up mechanic to help if you're behind. Similarly, it could be.
Go on.
I can't. Sorry.
No, go on.
I just can't see it being. I hope it's not something that gives you benefit if you're ahead, because that would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about the cards.
So we've got Mayari Lightcaller here, who is the first. He's the leader of the elves, of the cow elves. So he's got a range 2 attack. Now his weapon didn't look range 2 as far as I was concerned. His staff of whatever that's called, engorgement or whatever that is. 1 hammer, 2 damage.
I'm sure that's not what it says. Or maybe it's a shoot. Maybe it's a shooty weapon, but not a very good one. Is it enfeeblement? I don't know.
No, where's the staff of something? Yeah, I can't quite. Enlightenment, maybe.
Enlightenment. It's
Probably.
enlightenment, isn't
It's
it?
probably enlightenment.
It's enlightenment. Yeah.
Craig Sarge says there were 10 warbands in Beastgrave. I guess if you include the 2 Dreadfame ones, but they didn't have a card numbering system that matched in with the rest of them. So whether they've decided since then to do it that way, maybe. I'm shrugging. I don't know. Could be. Mayari does have only 1 hammer attack, though, 2 damage. But he does inspire if his defense or casting roll only contains successes. 2 dodge off the bat as well, but only 3 wounds. And then
Yeah, I mean, it seems very that staff in enlightenment. I mean, I know it's range 2, but you've obviously got a decent chance of getting success when you attack. But then you feels like you're being asked to be smacked in the face with only 3 wounds.
It does feel a bit like
It's
that.
like, I'm inspired. Oh, now I'm dead.
It does have the range 3 attack as well, so maybe you might want to try and get that off. But it's only swirly, so you've only got like not great odds there.
No, not much chance of getting only successes.
Yeah, they all start off with 1 Aether Quartz counter, and then after a reaction, after this fighter's attack, defense, or casting roll, remove an Aether Quartz counter and re-roll 1 dice. So they get a built-in sort of mild awakened weapon.
At the start, give each friend, so they each get 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming they'll have cards which will give them more or stuff like that.
So that improves your chances of getting inspired as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess it does, especially if you're going for the hammer attack, if you can get that off. But like you say, you probably want to stay away.
I'm not a massive fan, I have to say, of all these new token mechanics. I can see why they're useful, because they enable you to give kind of
Taste.
gradations of good things. So you can have a re-roll for a limited period of time. It's not like because obviously Awakened Weapon is incredibly powerful, and this is kind of like, as you said, a weakened version of it, which I do quite like. But I do feel like we've got loads of tokens in the game now, and most of them don't do very much.
Yeah, the Orc ones are pretty good.
Yeah, and they're things to forget as well, aren't they, Pete?
Yep. Yes, they are. Yes, Grashrak indeed, me old matey. Yeah. So that's one of the obvious cards. We've then got a spell card, which is quite obvious as well. Let's open that one up. So we've got Hypnotic Aspect, which we've seen before. That's a spell, which is 1 lightning, so that's dead easy to cast. But it's basically a distract from somebody 3x's away.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this on the Patreon thing. It's nice that it's got Vortimus on it. Although, suggests that go back to being 9 warbands. But I think it's I don't like it as a spell particularly.
No, it's as spells go. I mean, it's a lightning spell, which is nice, but that's about as much as it
Well, it is nice, but a lot of the multipliers for glory, a lot of the objectives for scoring multiple spells are rotating out. So unless there's going to be more rotating back in, a spell that's easy to cast is of limited use if it's not very good.
Yeah, I agree. So that's a bit of a pap spell, really. And then we've got an upgrade. Let's have a look at this upgrade. So this upgrade looks quite interesting. Mark of the Dark Prince, which is for Slake Slash, the Slagathor, which is a reaction. During this fight's range 1 attack action, before the attack roll, you can deal 1 damage to that fighter. And if you do, you can either choose Cleave or Ensnare, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I like that. Although I don't know how many wounds he's got.
He's got 5.
Okay, he's got 5 wounds. That's quite nice. Could be used at the right time. Could be vital.
Yeah, that gives you that I can't think of the word now, but it gives you that. God, my words have gone from my brain today.
If you're attacking with say, I can't think of anything, but something that has cleave on it, that's quite a good weapon, and then you put Ensnare on it, and you've got a couple of upgrades on him that could make him incredibly accurate. Yeah,
that's true, and it helps if you, like say, if you give him something that has cleave or has snare, you can use that to get the other one, and then you've got people like Stormsire, who have the dodge and shield ability. It could just completely negates all of it then.
Yeah, I'm not sure Stormsire does, but the other 2 do.
No, the other 2 in his warband,
Yeah.
One thing I meant to go over at the start, we've got the promo sort of view of the board, what GW shared. There's not masses to glean from this. I mean, there's these green hexes which look like they're placeable, and they're probably lethal
Objective
hexes.
5 is a bowl of soup.
Yeah. Objective 2 is a massive skull, which is interesting. Objective 4, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm assuming these are lethals. Sorry?
I wonder whether they're healing hexes, but they could be lethal, because isn't there a lethal hex off shot at the bottom? Other way. Keep going.
Where?
Oh, no, it's not a lethal. It's something else. I thought it was a lethal. I thought right off the board, I thought there was a lethal, but I think it's that. It's that, whatever that, at the very bottom of the board, right at the bottom of the picture, the other way.
At the bottom of the picture?
Yeah, so right at the end of the board, keep going.
I can't go any further. Oh, there.
This
over here.
Yeah, that. I thought it was a lethal hex, but
yeah,
it's not.
This I'm not sure on, and I wonder if this is the token that they mentioned.
Yeah.
Or the card, or whatever it is, and what
yes,
it does.
Sure. None of them have got their ether quartz tokens on them.
No, they've all burnt through them already. No, one of them has. He's got one.
Doesn't look like ether quartz, though, does it?
He's got one here.
Well, I don't know what ether quartz looks like, but that's not what I call it.
That's not what my bloody ether quartz looks like.
Yeah.
I assume that they're just the back of the wound counters. We can see that he's got a range 2, and I think that's the hammer dude. Range 2, 2 hammers, 2 damage attack. Not happy with that. He rolls 2 shields uninspired as well. 2 shields uninspired? Uninspired. He's uninspired here. He's got 2 shields. That's disgusting.
Sorry, is that in the picture we're looking at now?
Yeah. Right at the bottom here. Oh, sorry, I need to move it up a bit. Sorry, there we go.
Okay. 2 shields. Yeah,
2
wow,
shields.
okay.
That's disgusting. Yeah. Bow guy's range 5. Yep, someone's pointed that out. The bow guy has a range of 5, which is disgusting. But it's only 1 damage.
Is that
2 hammers, 1 damage. But that's inspired.
Is that multiple string bow?
Yeah.
Wow, no wonder.
But she's got
multiple strings. That's what it's for. So firing 5.
Somebody over the other end's got 2 shields as well. They either seem to have 2 dodges or 2 shields all over the place. That's disgusting. I don't like that.
Is that 5?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's another card that shows that off.
Looks like it could be very blurry on mine. It could easily be 3. In fact, it looks.
That could be. It looks slightly clearer on my screen, so it could be the what's the word? It could just be the encoding, which is just not one card. There is an objective at the top here, which is a 2 glory one, but I can't quite see what it is. But it's obviously, I think, it's an elf specific one.
Precise something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, right. So I've revised my opinion. I think they are lethal hexes because there's 2, aren't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they are lethal hexes.
Unfortunately, we can't quite see what the dark elf. The Slaanesh fighters have got on that one. So there's not masses to glean from this one, I feel, but there's those little bits which are interesting.
Except somebody's put one of their Slaanesh guys on guard. That's I don't know what we can tell from that.
Well, you might have maybe they're bringing. That tells me that they're bringing back change tactics. Right there we go.
Maybe.
Lanzo says, does the bow girl have cleaver and snare under the range 3 attack? I don't know if we could see. Let me see if we could see. Bow person doesn't seem to have anything under theirs, but oh no, wait, no, it's here. It's this one here. It's the second one down. It might have ensnare.
We can't see it again.
Can't really see it clear enough.
We can, actually, I don't know.
Sorry, I mean
yeah,
here.
It's all right. Yeah, it has something, doesn't it?
Could be ensnare. It looks.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
Ensnare-ish. It looks. Yeah, it's very hard to tell.
The sword person's got something as well under her weapon, which is probably cleave, I guess.
Yeah, it's very sharp.
So there we go. So there's the promo shot that I want to go through. Then let's have a look at some of the others. So I snatched some of the fighter cards out from when it was doing the in the video. So we can see that Slake Slash here does indeed have Hunter and Quarry on his card. Wow.
Hunter Quarry.
Did not see that before. Missed that completely when I was taking the screenshots.
During this decade. Okay. Oh, you can heal as well.
Yeah, which is dirty. During this fighter's attack action after the deal damage step. Pick one. Now, there's already going to be a question mark that's going to need an FAQ on this one. Does it happen even if you don't deal damage? So that's the question. I would assume not, but everyone's going to ask that, and it will need an FAQ, which is annoying because that immediately is a what happens if should be an obvious thing to ask, and whoever's written this has just missed that completely.
Well, I missed something there.
Where?
During this fighter's attack action, after the deal damage step, pick one. Deal 1 damage to this fighter.
Or heal 1. I think they inspire by having a certain number of wounds on the fighters.
Okay, well that's the inspired side. That's why I was slightly confused.
Yeah, I think they have it on both sides.
I was wondering. I see. So you could deal damage to them if you wanted to, but I was trying to work out why you want to do that in those circumstances.
I presume it's to inspire other people, because I remember somebody mentioning about you need to have at least 6 wounds across your warband.
Okay.
Or something like that. So, yeah. Okay. Rob Mark says, revive changed tactics card. I'm just making that shit up. Yeah. Right, just making that shit up completely.
What's the card underneath it? Another fighter's... After another fighter's move action, if that fighter is not adjacent to a friendly...
I think it's the leader, Vazzy something.
Push a friendly slave slash up to so many hexes to push them...
After that push, he must be more than 2 hexes from a friendly... whatever his name is. So that's interesting. It could give them some super maneuverability.
Yeah.
So that's Slate, and he's pretty solid. 4 swords, 2 damage. He's fairly accurate. Only 1 shield, but 5 move and 5 wounds could make him quite dangerous.
5 move is good. That's gather momentum in the bag.
Yeah, that's true. So let's open the next fighter card. Apologies, people posting questions and stuff. We will try and read them as well. We're too busy just sort of drooling over these at the same time.
4 range. There's a lot more range in this set, which is interesting. We reckon there's a 5 range and a 4 range. That's pretty massive.
Yeah. Lazarus says it seems odd he didn't get ensnared with that big claw. I would have thought maybe he should have had cleave, really, with a massive great crabby claw like that. But
is he not the one who gets either? Gets one or the other? Well, I miss.
No.
I just
that was the upgrade.
Okay.
That is him. But he needs the upgrade to give him that. So
that's. I guess that's how they brought it in.
Yeah, it could
it's
be.
an upgrade. That's right. Yeah.
This is the archer bloke. We can't see much on it, but we can see it's range 4 and 3 swords, which isn't bad. And he's a hunter, which is nice to have. Let's have a look at the next card.
The leader stats inspired is 3 hammers. Ow.
So then we've got. I think this is the other person. This is the leader, I think. No, it's not 3 hammers. It's 2 hammers.
Is that the leader?
I think so. Look at the helmet.
Okay.
So I think the leader's...
So you can keep damaging.
And it's the Agonizing Spear.
Oh, 3 damage. It's 2 hammers, 3 damage. It's pretty standard.
3 damage, yeah.
It's pretty good. It's 2. Is it 2 range as well?
I would expect that it's 2 range because it's a spear. But, maybe he's got the same spear dealer that, serviced Kirk. So, not that I'm bitter, but, maybe.
Keep snapping if you hold them at arm's
and he's got the same deal 1 damage or heal 1 damage, which is handy.
Okay. Interesting.
So that's a bunch of the fighters. There's another fighter card here that I managed to grab. Oh no, this was just an actual ploy card. Deadly Embrace.
Okay. A mortally wounded hedonite will seek to draw their killer into their agony.
Placed during an attack, and the enemy fighters range something attack action that targets friendly fighter something the deal before the deal damage step. I don't know. It's hard to tell what's going on there, but there's some kind of reaction during getting taken out, I think, with attacks which could make them quite nasty. Let's have a look at another card here. This one we've already seen, which is Miari Lightcaller, but this is on Inspire card side, so we've already seen that one.
It's got his searing beams.
And it is the Staff of Enlightenment. Searing beans. They're like baked beans, but they're much more spicy.
Searing beans. They're hotter. They're a lot hotter.
Yep.
Dazzling light.
So this is a ploy card.
It's a ploy. That's pretty. It's pretty standard actually, isn't it?
And -1 dice from an enemy fighter's attack. Yeah, if it was an attack, it would be very nasty. It's not bad, possibly, but I find with these cards, unless you're really, really guaranteed, you're almost looking always at when you play a card like this, your opponent just goes, I just won't attack you then. I'll just do something else and then I'll do that later.
Yeah.
But I guess it puts off the attack.
So the Dread Pageant wound spread looks like 5-4-2-2, and the Elves like 3-3-3-3.
Could be. Yeah.
3 wounds is. I wouldn't be happy with all 3 wounds. I have to say, that's 4 in my eyes. That's 4 fragile fighters.
Yeah, and this is Slake Slash when he's uninspired. 3 swords, 2 damage.
He's got a lethal flurry.
And he has the same reaction during this fight's attack action after the deal damage step. Pick one.
Have we actually seen what their inspired condition is?
No, they've hidden it, but it says something about surviving on here. That's about all I can see.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we've got one more fighter card left previewed. This is all I've got anyway, and these are the elves again. So we've got
Banner.
No, it's not Banner. It's Bahanar.
No, it's Banner.
Bruce Banner.
It's the same exactly.
Bruce Banner. Haha.
In the middle.
He's Dr. Banhahar.
It's Bruce.
Bruce Banhahar. So his stone mallet somehow is still 2 hex range, despite being shorter than Kirk's spear. I'm gonna complain to GW about that.
Maybe you can't see. Maybe it's like one of those comedy ones that when he's got a button on it, like a telescopic umbrella, and he just presses it and it fires and smacks people in the face. And that's why.
Maybe. Might do. It might do. I suspect not though.
Inspired.
Banhahar. So 2 shields, 3 wounds. So they're a bit tough. But if you've got somebody with cleave in there, you're just going to be like, I don't care about your 2 shields.
Yeah.
He cannot be driven back when he's inspired, though, if he has no move or charge tokens.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting.
And
presumably he's gone sort of all Zen-like, so he doesn't turn into the Hulk.
Oh, maybe. I think he should uninspire then.
Keep himself calm. Keep himself calm. Go, Gadget Hammer. Yes.
And we can just about see Miari over on the left here. And we can't see a lot, but we can see that his range attack goes up to 2 damage.
Oh yeah.
So those
it's
are
still
all...
1. Can't see how many hammerages it is.
I think it's 2. I think we can just about see a 2 on the edge there.
Yeah. 2 hammers, 2 damage is not so shabby.
No, it's not the worst in the world. And his ranged attack will be range 3, 2 swirlies, 2 damage as well, which isn't terrible. I think Andrew Marlowe sort of summarised it there, that the elves are quite elfish, 3 wounds, which isn't particularly tough, but better defence, 2 dodge or 2 shields makes them harder to hit. But if they do get hit, then they're just going to crumple up.
Yeah, that is true. My worry for them is that the shields are, with so much cleave flying around, shields are not so good as it was once upon a time. Yeah. Back in the Shadespire days. Back when
Stormcast, Severin and his boys could tromp around the boar, or his boy and his girl could tromp around.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few double shielders around, and having 2 shields when your opponent's about to make their last attack when you're standing on an objective with a key might be useful. But other than that, sorry, I played John the other day on Underworlds Online, and exactly that scenario happened, and I managed to save my attack because I think I rolled 2 shields as well, and I won the game by 1 glory. So those are all the cards that we've seen.
Double dice still gets more crits. It does. So obviously 2 dice is better than 1 in any circumstance. But yeah, and that's true. John Joseph Biggins says there's more ensnare flying around, which of course that it was certainly the game got to a point where double dodge. You just looked at double dodge and thought, oh, crap. Especially if somebody made it up to 3 dodge, you were just thinking, oh bloody hell. But actually, with the amount of snare flying around, it's not quite so bad now.
Yeah, especially when you've got the crabby cow with his ability to give himself either cleave or ensnare is quite helpful.
Yeah. Do they? Do all 4 only move 3?
I didn't see. I didn't see if
Is that to signify the amount of armour they've gone?
Yeah, could be. Maybe it's because they're quite zen, so they're not running around.
They're slough elves, not cow elves.
Sow elves, very nice. Yeah, maybe.
Just hammer guy. Lazarus says it's just hammer guy, presumably because he's got the big telescopic hammer in.
Hammer guy.
Heavy mechanism.
Yeah. Obviously to get him that extra range.
Why don't you get hold of another Scritch warband and then repurpose them and use Kirk?
It's very tempting.
Hammer guy.
So just looking at the Mayara,
he's
you can use range 4. I'm
Yeah.
assuming he'll stay range 4. I don't know about the others, but yes, it's likely. I guess if we looked at the promo board shot, it might have a better view on there of their movement.
3, 4, 4, 4.
Yeah, so they move 4. So they're not incredibly.
Apart from the really heavy hammer, which is no way you can make move like two hexes.
Well, I guess got to get all that extra range out of it. He can't move very fast.
Ed says, "What has he missed?" Well, Ed, in the beginning.
Kirk's spear is range 1, which is the only spear in the game which I think is range 1. And they said at one of the Grand Clash we were at, they said that they had literally a measurement of how long a weapon had to be 2 hexes, and Kirk's spear wasn't long enough. I'm pretty sure that hammer's not long enough. So I think they're lying.
But that was then.
That was then, and this is now.
That was then. I mean, at one point we were going to have the greatest testing system in the world, and we don't. So
I'd like to think that I could trust GW more than I could trust our government, though. So
I'm saying nothing.
That's true. Jack says that the despoiled chap has a spear which is range 2, but that's a teeny tiny spear. That's like a tooth-picking spear.
Yeah.
That one I don't mind being range 1.
Lots of people are commenting that the beastmen only have little spears. Poor beastmen.
That's what happens.
I know how they feel.
So those are all of the cards that I could find that were previewed, which gives us some interesting stuff to look at there, and opens up the what's the word I'm trying to look for now? My brain's not working again.
What are those two? Ugh.
What's my brain trying to say now?
I don't know. Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was reading the comments.
It's just that...
No, Pete says GW and the government both use Excel.
There's a lot there to come up with conspiracy theories over, is what I was trying to say. Basically, I couldn't think of the actual word, though. There's lots there that you could look at and go, oh, I wonder if this and I wonder if that. And I'm kind of interested again in what Season 4 is going to bring, because I'm a bit down about Season 3 now.
We've had no indication of what the element mechanic is, have we?
No, nothing that I could see in there anyway.
No, so I thought that might have been something in there. Fighter card makeup, but it doesn't look like it is.
No.
So I guess maybe it's just another set of cards like poisons or other ones. But I can't remember.
Rob Marks asks, can we tell if Miara gets level 3 caster when inspired? I don't think so.
Have we seen? I feel like we've seen her card. Have we seen her card?
No, but the uninspired version. I'll be surprised if they go to level 3 inspired.
Check Barnes says it'll be some card with a payoff like poison. Do you mean a shit payoff?
Because that's what poison means. Shit.
Because the poison payoff is terrible.
Great,
you're right, Jeff, I think. Hunter Quarry looks like it's continues. So more cards that will support the man trappers. That's true. It'd be interesting to see whether they've done their due diligence on making sure they don't wreck the game by making him something really powerful for Hrothgorn.
That is going to be the trick, is coming up with something where they just sit and go, oh, this is a hunter only thing, and then you go, yeah, so I'm going to take Hrothgorn all the time. And then they go, shit, we're going to have to ban that one.
Yeah.
Like, is it Hunter's Trinket, whatever it was, that gave you an extra dice and a re-roll? Like, who made that card and thought, no, that seems balanced with Hrothgorn?
Could break Rippers too.
Possibly.
I don't understand how Rippers work, so...
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it will.
We need Matthew in here to tell us. When I play them, rippers are already broken, but in a different way.
Yep, in the more, they're just shit now kind of way, which is the same for both of us.
Craig plays the cart play testers. Yeah.
Lazarus asks if we've swapped sides tonight. No, we're always on this side.
Yeah, it was Hunter's Reflexes that got banned.
And the other one. And didn't the other one get banned yet?
No, I don't think so.
I think it will. Because it's +1 dice and a reroll if you're targeting a quarry. Like, that's just a no-brainer for Hrothgorn. And almost not worth it for anybody else.
Have we swapped sides tonight? Some Lazarus asks. I don't know what you mean.
Look at Deck over here. What are you on about, Jack? So those are all of the cards that we had. I don't think there are any more. If anybody does have any more and they want to share them with us, then that would be cool and I can flash them up. But I don't think there are any more.
Anybody from GW watching?
Yep.
Morecambe Wise is more their style. Yeah, I think we're more Morecambe Wise. I hope we're more Morecambe Wise than that in deck. But
the question is, who's Morecambe, who's Wise?
Jonathan says Stone, Luminaire, Fire Slayers, Water, Eye Death, Air. Don't know. But my law is terrible, so I've got no idea. I see Ant's always on the left. I see.
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Thank you.
I watched that the other day. I watched that thinking...
It didn't have to be said.
No, it didn't have to be said. Bill and Ben, right, fuck off, right.
Yeah, that was right. Bill and Ben the Underworld, man.
That sounds a bit dodgy. I prefer Morecambe and Wise. I'm not sure which one wants to be Morecambe, though.
Yeah, they're comedy giants.
Well, I mean, Wise wasn't. He was
He
was kind of like a comedy midget. I think we're the funniest duo in Underworlds. Granted, that's not a particularly sought after.
Statler and Waldorf, indeed.
That's probably more accurate, actually, Statler and Waldorf, because every time GW brings out, we just sit there and go, boo! It's shit. Anyway, we're going to go and play with it now.
Jedwards, Penn and Teller.
Neither of us shut up, so we can't be Penn and Teller.
Time for me to go and cry in a corner. Ed says, carried on overlords of the air. Yeah, I go on with that.
Maybe. I've got a couple more screenshots that we can look at, a couple more pictures we can look at, and they're very important.
What are they pictures of?
They're very important. These are pictures that could really decide how the game plays. And then we can do our giveaway afterwards.
Oh.
So here's the first picture. It's a
Chuckle
board.
Brothers.
Chuckle Brothers. I would be honoured to be a Chuckle Brother.
Isn't that a Beast Grave board?
Honorary Chuckle Brother. Is it the Wormgrave? I can't remember if that one is a Beast Grave board or not. These were all on the GW site, so it might be.
Okay.
Two Old Men in the Muppets, Tim, is Statler and Waldorf.
I don't, as we know, I don't pay much attention to boards.
That one I think is actually one that's already in there.
It's got the hex. That's a Beast Grave board. It's got the kind of. Yeah.
This one, the Abandoned Lair.
The Abandoned Lair. Well, it's actually got a reasonable name.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's got like a unicorn horn down the bottom there. That's new. I'm assuming it doesn't have this sort of grey all around the edges.
No, I'm guessing not.
I mean, that looks pretty Blair. There's no blocked hexes, no lethal hexes, none of that on it.
Yeah.
James Milne says, also a Beast Grave board. Is this a Beast Grave board? I don't think this one is it?
Is it?
Unless this came out.
That one I don't recognise at all.
I don't recognise that one at all either. I mean, is it one that came out in the Arena Mortis? I mean, we're really showing how much we know about the Beast Grave boards now. And then the only other one I have, which may also be a Beast Grave one, is the Shrine of the Silent People. Is that one? That's a Beast Grave board as well, so they haven't given us any of the boards.
Yeah.
Right then. There you go. That shows you what I know about the boards. So there we are.
Brilliant.
I don't know.
I don't
think we know anything else about words that are escaping me now. Direchasm. I don't think we know. Check on Underworld's DB. Fuck off, peasant. I don't check out these.
There was something that said how many gambits there were. I can't remember what. I've seen a breakdown that says how many gambits. I think it was 4 or 8 new ones. But
that was on one of the other.
Yeah.
The other one that was not the accurate one, because the new version, which has like the 12 universals and 10 gambits, 10 upgrades, doesn't break down how many spells there are. So, the question is how accurate that other one is that said there were 4 spells.
I feel like I've seen that, but perhaps I just made that up.
No, I definitely saw it, but that was the one that didn't mention
It doesn't really feel like magic. Is there? I wasn't paying enough attention. Is there one spellcaster?
There was just the one spellcaster.
Yeah, so it's just one. So I'm not sure the magic mechanic is going to be around very much.
No, I don't think it will be either. I think there'll be a few in there, and there'll probably be shit enough that it's not worth trying. And maybe that's the end of Stormsire.
Well, he's got other eggs in his basket, hasn't he? But he's not. I feel like that you're not going to be casting. I mean, he's still got Harness the Storm and things, but all those I can't remember what they're called now off the top of my head, but the magical supremacy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't going to be squandered, which I think is a bit of a shame because the magic was only. I suppose they have the Hrothgor problem in that if they make too much magic stuff, it's much easier for curse breakers to score it because there's 3 of them. But it was an extra facet. I think the game needs more different angles in which to play it, as we were discussing the other day with the feed the Beastgrave method of playing is another way to play, which people will have to then build into their decks. At the moment, I feel like it's you've got aggro or objective play, and you can argue which is the stronger, but they're kind of the 2 ways to play, and you have to pick one, and you have to rely on the fact that you only really have to combat aggro or objective play. I mean, a little bit control as well, but I feel like it could do with more ways to play, just so that people can't just focus on their plan. They have to think about what the other person's plan might be.
Yeah, I think that there does still seem to be a bit of that in there. And if you build a deck which does rely on that back and forth between you and your opponent, it's not going to be as effective a deck, because if your opponent then doesn't do the things you're hoping on, you're screwed. You're left hanging at that point as well. So, yeah.
Craig says he's disappointed it was still set in the Beastgrave. Feels like it's not really moving it along that much. I'm guessing that we're going to get kind of 2 seasons in each place.
Yeah.
So season 5 will probably be, I don't know where it might be. I can't think of anywhere, but
might be in another realm.
Another realm.
Or maybe this is the last season.
Shh. Not sure about that.
You never know.
I hope not. I mean, I think really that's going to depend on the response to the pandemic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there isn't much point in them keep making a game that nobody can get together to play.
That is a problem. But then you could argue that they would have had the same problem with all their other board games, because nearly all of them rely on being around other people. And I think in general...
Yes, but I think this one is particularly, in big tournaments, because you can get together with a friend and play Warhammer. I don't know, you can get together with a friend and play Underworlds, but as we do every week. But I think it relies on that kind of competitive...
I mean, that's what it's sold as, isn't it? Like
there's no narrative way to play, and there's no. I've talked about this before. I feel like a lot of the, which actually will bring me on to my unpopular opinion.
Let's do that now. Because that always creates a whole new thread of stuff to go on about.
The other games are a lot more hobby related, so you get people who just buy the stuff and paint the model, or buy the models and don't paint the models. But there's more support to the hobby. I don't think anybody who buys Underworlds things does it just for the models. For example,
a few people out there that do it more for. I mean, we've certainly got a few people who haven't hardly ever played Underworlds, but have most of the warbands painted.
Maybe I'm wrong.
So what was your unpopular opinion?
My controversial opinion is.
What was it? Go on.
Do you want to do the giveaway first?
No, let's do the controversial opinion first, because people will have to hang around afterwards for the giveaway.
Opinion. Okay. And I say nobody, I don't really mean nobody, but very few people actually enjoy playing Warhammer 40,000. There you go.
Well, all I can say is that it's a good thing that we have absolutely no followers in the 40k world.
Well, we see, I don't doubt that they love the game, but they love the lore, they love the models, they love talking shit about the models, they love building armies, they love testing armies, they love building war armies, they love talking about the game afterwards, they love setting up their models, but the actual game is just one great big headache for however long they play it. And when they've actually finished it, they like talking about what happened in the game, but the actual 2 hours that they play it is just who can be the least miserable for 2 hours, and then they carry on playing. So there you go.
I think that 2 hours is an understatement massively. I mean, I think 40k is more fun when you've got more time. And as Craig has just said there, it really does massively depend on who you're playing with at the time as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that there's plenty of other games which are more fun to play than 40k. Etalar says maybe because he plays only with friends that he enjoys it more, but I mean, I don't think I've ever played a GW game before Underworlds that wasn't just against friends.
I don't think I've never played 40k with anybody other than Pete. So,
Maybe that's saying a lot more.
But I just find it as a game, it's awful. I don't see how anybody could enjoy it. There's just so much different modifiers and whatever. It's just one headache for however long you're playing for. But then afterwards. But the actual playing of the game, I reckon, is probably the least fun element of the game. The fun is in the lore and the painting and the thinking about playing, rather than the playing.
I think the biggest problem things like 40k have is that they take so long to play, and if you're playing against a friend, but even then it can be difficult because if you're playing a 40k game, even against friends, and things are going badly, and you're getting salty because your dice aren't working or your mate has come up with some disgusting combination to absolutely thrash you or whatever it might be. If you're
I don't know whether he meant to. He's just done the burn of the century.
What is that?
I think it's one for younger players or with layers with a large mental capacity. Players with a large mental capacity.
He's called you old and stupid at the same time.
Old and or thick.
You are old and stupid. So shut up with your stupid old opinions. But the problem you've got with things like 40k, I find, is that you can, if you're having a bad game, you're stuck for hours having a bad game. Whereas Underworlds, at least, you have a shit game. Okay, it can be a bit painful, but generally the shitter the game, the faster it's over, and you're like half an hour and like, okay, let's play another game, or let's do something else, or I want to go and have a drink now and don't talk to me for a little while. But it's over quick. Roz is now like, no, that's not what I meant. We know what you meant, Rosa. We know what you meant. Yeah. It's a game for young, clever people. We get it. Probably also only good-looking ones at that. So yeah, no, we get it. It's fine. It's fine. We know what you mean. We know what you mean.
I'm only pulling your leg, Rosa.
Yeah, don't worry. We're only backing it up.
I'm only pulling your leg. I think you actually have a point. I think it is. It's a young man's game. We've talked about that before. You need to have time to devote to it to really enjoy it, I think.
Yeah, and that's like Daniel Santos says, sounds like my sex life. Let's get over with. Yeah,
sounds better than mine.
So yeah, I think in general games like 40k and even bigger games of AOS as well. I mean, the thing I love about Underworlds is that you can play one game and very quickly you can play a completely different kind of game because you can just have a different warband or different deck, or even just the board layouts can be different, and you can have a vastly different game. And I know in 40k there's even more factors to consider. You can change the terrain around, you can have different missions, but unless you've got masses and masses of time and money to invest in tons and tons of models, your armies are always going to be sort of similar.
Yeah.
So your tactics are always going to be sort of similar. You're going to have your Rhino with your assault squad or whatever, and you're going to have this unit which is going to do this particular thing almost every time and that kind of thing. But unless you've got the money and the time to have massive armies to be able to vary them so much, it's always going to be quite similar.
Yeah, Jonathan says, and a couple of people have said that they're much better in narrative games, which is probably true, especially playing with friends. Narrative games are much more interesting, but I feel like that requires a bit more time and effort to actually make it a good narrative. I like the idea of narrative much more than the actuality of narrative. But we did, I don't know if you remember, Pete, we did have a mad 5 minutes where we talked about making a narrative campaign.
We did.
For 40k.
I made the intro and everything.
We still needed, because we were starting from scratch, we still needed so much stuff. It just never got off the ground. Yeah,
we didn't have the time or the models to be able to do that. No. And you said exactly what I was going to say. In that I love the idea of doing narrative play, but I would probably, especially if you're on the side that you know is probably going to lose, would probably fucking hate playing it You're like, why am I playing this? I'm going to lose. Oh, but get to see how many of my guys you killed. Who gives a fuck? I'm going to die anyway. Let's just not bother with this shit and go and have cake. And it's just going to save the time.
Warhammer 40 cake.
Exactly.
That's our new. We're moving to that next time. Warhammer 40 cake. We'll get cakes in different colours of different squadrons of Marines. I forgot what chapters. That's the word. And just eat the cake. Warhammer 40 cake. That is going to be our new venture on the channel.
Andrew Myers asking if you put new pictures in your room.
No, they're the same pictures. I think the camera's at a slightly different angle, so you've perhaps got a different view. But
I've upgraded my painting stuffs now. Here it's moved up a shelf because there's a load of boxes of shit there now. So my painting stuff's easier to get hold of.
Ed's put out his weekly plug for Middle Earth Battle Companies. It's progression and story centric.
What battle who things? Oh, the Middle Earth thing. Yeah, I quite like the idea.
Yeah, I'd like to play it, but again, it's one of those things that it's never going to happen. We are hoping to do some bard sung in the future. I don't know how that's going to go, but I've been following that. I might do a little video about that in the not too distant future, just about how it's going. The campaign starts on the 10th of November. I don't know if we'll actually get to play it before that, but probably possibly not. But that's a narrative game that'll be interesting. But it's 35 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes playtime.
So 2 to 3 hours for us.
Well, first game, obviously, yeah.
I mean, our first game not our first game, but our game. I don't know how long our Marvel game was that we played last week, but the Blitz Bowl game was about 1 hour and 10 minutes, which obviously it's not meant to be, but that was
1 hour and 10.
It was about 1 hour and 10 before I cut it down, okay. And there wasn't a lot of cutting out to do either. So because there's not a lot of drawing new cards and looking at your hand and stuff like that. So it was still about 56 minutes. It didn't feel like
that at all. It felt like it rattled along quite quickly. There was a bit of explaining at the beginning. It felt like it rattled along quickly.
I mean, most of it was stuff going on and moving models and just rolling dice and stuff. So it was pretty active the whole way through. And I think the whole video is about 56 minutes still. So
okay.
But I think we'll be quicker because we were having lots of conversations during that game about, I could do this, or I could go and do that, or I could move around here and do these things. So, yeah, definitely enjoyed that though. That's why I'm paying.
I did write to GW and ask them whether they pretend to Blitz Bowl 2, as it's difficult to get here. But so far, it's been very quiet. The tumbleweed has been rolling through my mail inbox.
Because our emails have gone and blocked.
Yeah, basically, it didn't bounce back.
Morph says the screen cap that we posted of Blitz Bowl looked great. Glad you enjoyed that. I very much enjoyed. I've enjoyed editing that one. It's much easier to edit, and that was great fun. So I'm really enjoying that, and I'm hoping we can get more games. If GW don't give us a copy, we'll just have to source one somewhere else. Yeah.
There's a bit of interest among the British-based patrons. Maybe we just source a load of copies.
That's true. Yeah, maybe we just need to get a bulk set of about 20 for everybody here who wants them. Somebody's asking what game's going to go when Direchasm comes. I've got another shelf. I'll just put them up there. And then angle the thing up a bit, and then we'll just have the next shelf.
You've got Dreadfate as well, somewhere.
No,
I know we had to send it. We borrowed it, didn't we?
We did. We borrowed it off of Simon. Is it Simon we borrowed that off?
I can't remember who we borrowed it from. Do we have an ETA for Blitz Bowl being posted? Is it Patreon this week?
Yes, it will.
Patreon this week.
Someone asked, do we know if the new Blitz Bowl will have new Season 2 rules? I think there's a couple of little bits of Season. There are a few changes in Season 2. Not masses, though. I think they've done the right thing. They've gone, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Boxes are out of order, apparently, Pete. I don't know what they've said to Into the Glory Hole.
Boxes are out of order.
He's quite wild about it.
Damn them.
They spill your pint.
Bastards. I mean, who cares? I've ranked them in order of best to least best, or worst, as it's also called.
So many people in the UK are keen for Blitz. If someone doesn't do a container and resell it, they're nuts. There you go, Pete. There's a business opportunity for us.
We'll fill the garage with boxes. It'll be like Only Fools and Horses. We'll end up sitting on them, boxes, making tables. Nobody buys the bastards.
He says they're out of sequence. Don't they go Beastgrave, Nightbolt, Shadespire? So they might not be. It might just be worse. They might be more recent to least recent.
Yeah. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Talking nonsense. When is that coming out? Tim says, I presume you mean Blitz Bowl? If so,
Blitz Bowl 2 is out.
Yeah. I kind of really like the look of Blood Bowl. He's
breaking into the Glory Hole's teeth itch. I won't worry about it. He's in Wales, so he won't be able to come and get you.
Making his teeth itch. Is that one of the symptoms? That's why you're all in lockdown, you see. Yeah, it's already out. I quite like the look of Blood Bowl 2, and I'm really annoyed that the new human team in Blood Bowl 2 isn't in Blitz Bowl. I would love to have had them there because they looked brilliant. And the new Orcs. The Black Orc team aren't in there either. I'm still sort of tempted to get it just for the teams.
The new Blood Bowl.
Yeah, because I really love the Black Orc
great.
team.
I really like the look of the Undead team as well.
Yeah, I mean you can play those in Blitz Bowl.
Yeah, I really like that.
Definitely going to get them.
You see, I don't want to get sucked into that route. Down that route, it's just. But Blitz Bowl, we need to play some more games of Blitz Bowl. I did enjoy the first game we had, but I did win. It always helps me enjoy it. Just give it away.
Close.
But it was a great, absolutely great game. So I do want to play some more, see how enjoyable it is.
I like the idea that in season 2, all the balls have different rules. So it actually means it matters which ball you have, and you can get a different random ball pop out each time. So
sorry guys.
It's really close.
It doesn't really matter though, to be honest, because it's just silly.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
It's a great tactical build-up.
And I think by the time you're in the right position, it's quite obvious in there, but it's great. So yeah, I think the key to that will be getting some new teams, because we played Orcs versus Skaven. Humans, I think, are a bit shit, and I think Orcs are a bit overpowered in season 1 because the Black Orc has the -1 to armor rolls, and they don't have that in season 2. And I think the human catcher gets a bit better in season 2, so I think there's a bit more balancing going on there. But I'd be keen to get some of the other teams and get those painted up to try out some different things. And there we go.
Definitely.
So I think it's giveaway time, isn't it?
Giveaway time.
Giveaway time.
Right, we're going to do it slightly differently this time because Redgrass shared the prize. No, not shared the prize, but shared the fact that we were doing a giveaway, which is fair enough. So there's lots of people who entered who aren't normal viewers and probably don't give a shit about our live chat on a Tuesday night. So we're not going to. You don't have to be on board watching. We will contact the winner afterwards. And if they don't reply, then we will redraw, but we'll probably redraw offline. And so, we can fix it how we like it. No, we'll probably redraw it offline because rather than waiting every week and redrawing it, because that gets a bit boring. So we will do the giveaway now, and whoever wins it is the winner, and we will contact them after the show. If you are on, of course, do let us know, and we can get the ball rolling as soon as possible. There's 2 Redgrass wet pallets. We'll split them, so we'll do 2 giveaways. Yeah, so one the first one. So the first one.
Here you go. Somebody's won 2.
One is deluxe and one is not. So let me go and get them. Just
do the not first. We're going to do the not first. We're going to do the not first. Whilst Robin goes to get that, I'm just going to sit here and entertain you all. Hello.
Hello. I'm back.
He's back. Excellent. Right, let's enough of that.
So I've got a complete pack here.
Ooh.
And a starter pack. So should we do the starter pack first?
Yeah.
Seems like a good place to start.
So the starter pack does have a wet palette in there though, right?
There's a wet palette, it's a wet palette, and I can read it out if you like. It's got 1 wet palette, 1 foam pad, 15 sheets of hydration paper, and a band to strap them together.
Now I will say, for most people, they probably won't actually want to use the little sheets of paper you get with it, because I think they're a bit shit.
Well, I have heard, that's people were telling me that I shouldn't be using the paper.
I think somebody said that it's because they're designed for something else, not model paints. So
I don't know about that. But anyway, so do you want to draw that?
Yes. So we will wait to sell the giveaway. The actual box and everything else is brilliant. Just
it's a really good wet palette. I have heard people saying that the paper is better used if you use standard greaseproof paper.
Yeah, and I just cut a bunch of sheets out, and I think
they're designed for heavy body artist acrylics.
Ah, there you go.
Well, there you go. Well, Pete and I are heavy body. We're not particularly artists.
Here's the prizes. They're shit. Yeah, a bit like that. No, I love my wet palette. I think it's actually really helpful. And yeah, the only thing that's wrong with it really is the mats just aren't that good, but you don't need them. So, and that's the bit that you replace anyway. So, bonus. Tim G, you are on there. So, are we ready for the first giveaway prize? So this is for the regular one, yeah, not the.
This is for the regular, the starter pack. The starter pack.
Anonymous Jeff says that he has the palette. He hasn't been blown away. I think if you change the sheet out for the grease-proof paper, works 10 times better. I think.
Okay, that's improved painting tenfold. Jack Barnum echo what you said at the same time as you said it, Pete.
There we go.
Okay,
let's go. First draw. Boom. Here we go. Here we go.
Winner is
Andy Cottrell.
Andy Cottrell. Okay.
Cottrell.
Yeah. So I think he might be a sort of come from the Redgrass route, but we will get in touch with Andy and get his details.
You think he might be a flighty?
Yeah. Maybe he'll join. Maybe he'll watch more regularly now.
Let's see, Andy. Are you on? I mean, his name's just popped up in the thing. So, Andy, are you online? We'll give it 30, 40, 45 seconds. He's not local. It's another Russian bot, says Andrew Marlowe.
Russian bot. Andrei Kotrelsky and other such stereotypes.
I was going to say another offensive, slightly sort of offensive things. This is a local channel for local people. Of course, anybody watching right now who likes giveaways, check out our Patreon, because every month we're going to be doing not a giveaway, but we're going to be doing a competition every month that all our Patreon supporters can enter. And this month's giveaway is going to be for £25 of GW vouchers.
Yep, absolutely.
You can join that any level. So whether it's
use that towards your Direchasm pre-order or whatever when it drops, or Warcry pre-orders are up, aren't they? I think, for the new set.
Yep. So if you're interested in giveaways, we're going to do one every month just for our Patreon supporters. And at any level, you can join at the £2 level, at the £5, the £10, or the £20 level. You'll get all the other benefits as well, but you also get to enter our monthly competition, and we will be picking a winner each month. So there we go. There is still time. Everyone's got until this weekend to put their entry in if they haven't already. It's over on the Discord. It is approximately 1 million Australian Monopoly dollars, Anthony. And the good thing is, because it's vouchers, we can get those to people without any of the postage and all that hassle.
Yeah.
So there we go. There's the little Patreon sale. If you're interested in extra giveaways, go and check that out.
Milky said Andy's his neighbour. Send it to him. He'll drop it round.
Oh, that's very nice, you Milky. We'll get that in the post. So the next one, Andy is the first winner. The next one is, let's pick another name.
So this one is for the complete pack, which has the little inkwells and things in it. It's Jacob D.
Everyone's going to go on. Everyone's going to say it now. It's another Russian bot.
Jacob D. Yep. So Jacob D has won the complete pack.
There we go. So apologies to everybody who did not win. Anonymous just says he didn't know he'd entered. I'm Jacob D, and so is my wife. Yeah. So thank you to anybody who did enter. Ed Hilar says that it is his friend Truly. Oh, there we go. He's not online.
You haven't got to be online tonight. If it actually is your friend, Ed Hilar, you don't have to be online tonight, because we had people who aren't regular watchers of the channel. So Loz goes by Jacob on Thursdays. Well, what you two do in your own home in Wales is entirely up to you.
Well, it's a bit. I mean, you can't be, can't have different households in the same house now. It's all got to happen outdoors. As long as it's dogging, you're fine, because that's outdoors.
That was trending apparently after the on Twitter immediately after the announcement.
What, dogging?
Dogging, yeah, started trending for basically for that reason. They're telling the good news. Well, we will. How will we get in touch with these people, Peter? You send them a message via. I'm gonna comment on YouTube and ask them to post us, to get in contact with us. Oh God, stop! That's what she said, rather.
Dogging and grousing, legit. I'm not sure that dogging's the right word, is it? That might be the wrong word. So we will post on YouTube that they are winners to get in touch with us. Suggested glory holes. Jesus, the state of modern society. Yes, very true. So Ed Hilar, if your friend is indeed Jacob D, then do let him know to check out YouTube. We will also try and get hold of Andy Cottrell, and if we can't get hold of either of them, we will do another draw. We probably won't televise it because everyone's going to get very bored watching us keep doing these draws when no one claims the prizes. But we will let people know if we can't get hold of them. And, well, we won't let them know if we can't get hold of them, because if we could, we'd just, we'd say, right, now we've got hold of you. But we'll let you guys out there in internet lands know if we couldn't get hold of the original winners and we redrew it at all. There we go. There was the draw. Like I say, if you like giveaways, do check out Patreon, because it's another way every month of getting a giveaway. Well, not a giveaway.
I'm just reading the interaction between Dave Henderson and Jack Varnum. It's just very, very amusing.
I just read it.
That made the whole evening worth tuning in for.
Oh dear. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. I'm interested in what Direchasm is going to bring to the table now. I like the Slaanesh warband. I'm not so fond of the cow elves, but I guess it's, you can't have everything. I'm interested to see what that other token, that I can't remember what it's called now. It wasn't Vitality, but it was another thing. That other token. Interested to see how what that's all about and stuff. But overall, I need something new in the underworlds that's going to make things a bit more exciting, because Arena Mortis came out, but we never had any intention of playing that. So Jack Ryan says he's the only one looking forward to the cow elves. Primacy, that's it. Primacy
Card, yeah.
I'm interested to see what that does.
Looking forward to the game. I think that obviously it's been an unnaturally long season for Beastgrave. We should be out by now already. And
yeah, that's true.
It's been odd, but I think some new cards are always good. I'm looking forward. I have to say, I'm looking forward to playing some other games, so that we can get our love of Underworlds back, because I feel like the game's a little bit samey at the moment. I'm hoping Direchasm will throw in some new objectives which can make the game a bit different. I kind of feel like this. I know the competitive players. I'm struggling to build decks outside of a certain box.
Yeah.
If for want of a better word, and I need some inspirations. We're hoping Direchasm will bring that, and it should do. He's got some different mechanics and things. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with the new models. Always good to get new models.
Yeah, I think just even having the new warbands alone tends to mix things up a bit. And part of the problem now, though, is it's just trying to work out which warband you want to play. Because like, I played those 6 months ago. I can't really play them again. I need to find somebody else, and then it just gets a bit crazy. Jack Varnum says that he's had it confirmed that it's not a first player token. What are your sources, Jack?
Oh, interesting.
Who do you know?
I'm intrigued. Who confirmed that, Jeff?
Yeah.
Jeff. Jack. Thank you.
Craig says it's not great when they restrict cards and then release new cards that are almost the same unrestricted. I presume they do it because they know the new card coming out is going to make that combination too good, so they know they have to restrict the first one to effectively just bring it out again. He says Tinternet. I mean, everything you hear on the internet's 98% bullshit, though, isn't it?
Tim confirmed it. I don't know whether Anthony's just pulling our leg there, or whether that is actually happening.
So
I've got my battery chair again. Sorry.
Oh dear. The poor troll does indeed get no love around here, Roz, I'm afraid. I mean, I'm just glad that it was the Axis that came out in Underworlds Online and not Moloch.
No.
That would have been disastrous for me. But now the Axis are out, which is, worth a punt. So I think that's time for us to call it a night. I think we're all interested in what's going to be happening soon in Underworld's land. We have very little time left in just the Beastgrave, although we're still going to be in the Beastgrave come the next season. But
yeah, we've got about a month left, a bit more, before Direchasm hits, and then there's going to be some new fighter card things. But that's for Arena Mortis, isn't it? Hitting and printing, printable. Well, they're new, but just printable ones. That's on the roadmap. between now and Direchasm.
Yeah. Jack Vine says he has some opinions on Warhammer Underworlds Online. I still think it's a great game, potentially. They've just picked the wrong season to follow. But they probably have very good reasons for doing that. So they might just be stuck in rock and a hard place.
John Reese says it wasn't his vibe and was very negative about the token, but he was always usual hush, hush, wink, wink. Okay. Did he say he was a negative about token, but he was the best person who'd ever used it and nobody ever used it better than him? Because that's what he does about. Well, I loved his Warhammer Underworld's Flex, which was the game of shit and nobody plays it, but he was the best at it.
Yeah, I'm the best at this shit game.
Which was my favourite flex.
I think it's a great game, but the biggest problem Underworlds Online has for me is just the fact that you don't have that player interaction, and I think that makes the game. When you're just playing this soulless individual on the other side of the board, it gets quite dull, and I think the fact that it's a lot of it's season one. So I think we mentioned this before. We said it's not like playing an online version of a game. It's like playing an online version of an old game. You're like, well, why would I do that when I can just play the up-to-date version now?
I think for me, and I'm not really very computer gamey, I think the problem with it is I like to sit down and play with like you just said, it's the human interaction. I like part of the game experience is playing with a human, isn't it? And so when you take that out, even though you are obviously playing with a human at the other end, but when you take that all out of the game, I actually want to go and play 2 or 3 games in an evening and have a couple of cups of tea, because a couple of pints, but a couple of cups of tea and a chat. You don't get that. In the same time, I can grind out 6, 7, 8 games of Warhammer Underworlds, but actually I don't want to, because the game, although it's a good game, it isn't something I want to do over and over again.
They've taken a game that is quite fundamentally quite a social game and removed the social aspect, because they can't really do anything about that. They have to, they can't make it so you can talk to the other person for obvious reasons. There are obvious limitations. But that does rip out a large chunk of what that game's all about. I think
which kind of feeds into what Jack said, that the 90% of the people can see before turn 2, and people. I'm assuming Joe don't have much experience of playing, but rather than Pete, and our videos would be shit if one of us could see at the end of turn 2. But I'm assuming when you go out and play, people don't do that, so you still have that kind of social contract is still there, isn't it? That you keep working.
Exactly.
You keep back to the end. Occasionally, when things go really badly, but generally, you keep playing just to see how it balances out.
Yeah. And at least when you have that social aspect, you're talking with the other person, even if it's just via chat on Discord, you can at least bemoan together the dice rolls or that kind of thing, or talk about, oh yeah, maybe you could have done this, or maybe you should look at this card or something like that. So,
and it is fun playing. I'm not actually in the Discord tourney at the moment, but the Patreon tourney at the moment. But it is nice to playing people who you sort of know. So do join the Patreon tourney, because the game is still pretty good in that respect.
Yeah, and we have lots of, because everybody in there doesn't play it to win necessarily. So whilst the Thorns are quite a good warband, we don't have everybody playing Thorns. So you've got lots of people who, poor souls who are still playing Sepulchral Guard or whatever. But yeah, there's definitely that. I do think the quitting aspect's a problem, but I don't think you can do anything about that in computer games, because there's no social contract there. But that's another thing we don't have a problem with in the Patreon version. So I think it was built for that kind of situation, the Patreon tournaments, and obviously any of our Patreoners who join in that tournament might win a mug.
Ooh.
I'm looking forward to getting my games, and I'm going to take the axes now. I bought them because then I can blame that on the reason why I get knocked out in the playoffs.
I need to get back to it. I do feel bad for not getting back to it. I need to get back to it. Right, it's 11 o'clock.
Time to call it there, folks. So thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. Next week we're going to be talking about the words have escaped me. Robin, do you have the words?
I don't know.
Next week we're going to be talking about on the channel on our Tuesday night live. Is
it the thing that I said that we were talking about a while ago?
Yes.
Right, okay. So we're hoping to, anyway. Things keep coming up. We're hoping to do it. Is it International Week?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So we're hoping to do a chat about non-English content of Underworlds, because I don't know. Maybe it does get a massive shout out, but we don't see it because we're not in any of the non-English speaking content. But around the world, Underworlds provide, people who provide content and what have you. hopefully give them a shout out. So if you do know anybody, then let us know in the comments or send us a message via Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and we will pick it up and give them a shout out. But we'll advertise it on our Facebook page between now and this week.
So that will be next Tuesday night live. So do join us for that one, and looking forward to that one. Always like chatting about all the different sort of aspects of the game.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll start talking about some other stuff soon, because Direchasm will be appearing soon. So we don't want to do too many games of Beastgrave before it lands, because we record so far in ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, we might have to do a special on the American election. We keep running out of things to do.
Yeah. Jack says it's £25 for the game, £6 for the other 5 warbands. They're not 5 warbands yet. There's 3 Thorns, Eyes, and Axes, and you don't have to buy them because you get all the universals free. And it's not £6; it's £4.99. So I don't think it's a bad price, because you've got to pay some money to support these people building these games, because there's only 12 of them, and they don't get paid a lot. Certainly not getting paid by GW.
It's quite a reasonable price. And it works as a game, but it's lacking a bit of interaction, which you kind of almost have to do yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you find a group of people on, there's lots of different groups of Underworld players doing different things on various digital platforms. I imagine, and we've obviously got the Patreon one. I imagine it's probably reasonable. You could set up your own Discord server for playing it, kind of thing. Yeah.
And Jack says he thought it was £6, £5. There's not a great deal in that to argue. I appreciate, but £25 for the game, which gets you about 5 or 6 warbands, and you get all the universals whenever they came out. I think that's a fair price to pay for something like that, considering from GW it was like £40, and you have to keep buying each of the new seasons when they come out for £40 a time, and all the rest of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Michael Snap says he's going to pick it up once he gets a new computer. Check out GeForce now, because you can play it online. As long as you've got a good net connection, your machine can actually be an absolute dog, and it will still run it. Even works on Mac.
Back to dogging.
Ooh. And on that note, I think it's time for us to say good night. Maybe it's a bit of a harder sell than the pandemic, Jack. I'll concede that point. But at the same time, it gives you more options to play people online without having to meet face to face. I would argue the board games are harder sell in a pandemic, because you can't go out and play anymore. But there we go.
Also true. I do fear a little bit if they can't sell it in a pandemic.
If you
that's a different discussion.
Yeah, that's true. So thank you all. Stay safe out there in the internet lands, and hopefully we'll see you all next week on Tuesday Night Live.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.